Look at this sweep in the river down below though. That is epic. There might be one spot where we can get across from here somewhere. Maybe this is our magic opening. It is literally a wall. Wow, magic opening. I'd say so. This is the wall. I mean, I realize that it's just an old lava dam or something, but you see it? Border 2. Bush looping. Look what's beyond. This place actually feels really good. Feels spooky as all heck, but oh, it feels good. Like this whole little flat area in here is cleared off, and you can see it just turns to rubble everywhere else. It's like squared off with rocks on all sides, but it does. And the oaks here are so big. Look at this causeway. That was that weird square area on the other side. The thing about all this that gets me is that in 10,000 years' time, you can build castles and have them torn down to nothing. In 400 years' time, that usually happens. 10,000 years' time, you don't know. We just don't know. I don't know if you can make that out though. There's a row, like a volcanic dike of red rock, tossed out, and on this side tossed out, and actually it looks like a lane. Okay, let's go deeper. It's just another natural, beautiful cathedral. Almost like an ancient causeway though. This is weird. There would have been, this isn't bulldozers, these piles are huge. Should be natural. We would assume it was natural because it's huge. We have volcanic dikes everywhere out here. So this one should be natural also, which runs out. But this lane that I just came up, and it continues on, just in between, perfectly clear. And now it goes uphill. I would swear there's a darn road, but I just don't think it is in any sort of last 1,000 years type of context. This is like pushing my round limits here a little bit. I'm way off of where anybody would know I was. I have to know it's at the end of the road. No, it's at the end. It appears to just run into a big old pile of rocks. Let's make sure it's not a cave. It could be a cave. Doesn't look like a road to me anymore. But look at it, it looks like a road. I guess two volcanic parallel dikes with the swale in between them of softer erosive material, or a causeway for some long forgotten ancient people to get down to the pool. Oh, look at the sandy beaches in front of us and the pool and everything. That's where we just climbed all the way down. Yeah, that would be a sneaky little spot back in there. Okay, we'll look over here first. There's only a certain point where you can go here. Now if a big old octopus arm comes out of this and grabs me, I'll be bummed out. The Canadians on the island in the middle. Now I have paddled through here. What this has is gigantic fish. But you can see, I mean, look at the alluvial boulders up here. See how that river cobble? And then it's eaten down into the serpentine below that. And it's a spot where it hits all these huge boulders down here. And that's why there's sand thrown up at the end of it, is because it's just eating it deeper and deeper and deeper. And this is the end of the wall. The wall that I was talking about literally runs out right here and into the water. Oh look, there's a spot where we can stand right on the edge. Oh good. Yeah, I can see some boulders and stuff. And bubbles. Bubble, bubble. You see the tops of big boulders and stuff. But dogs won't go near here. I think there's some catfish and some things that live in here that have just always lived here. You should see when you're kayaking over it and you look down, schools of bass and things go by you, and they'll be like, I'll try and film that for you. I do float over this in a boat. It's a little creepy. I've even had to put kids in it. I've even had to put kids in the boat and then swim behind the boat before, because they didn't have a boat. And that was kind of spooky. But yeah, this is the wall. Oh, and there's the water. Eek. Oh yeah, look at these. Can you see that lurking? Look right there. Oh, it's so hard to film fish in the water. See, now as you get up to this end of the hole, you can start to see the bottom. And that's what you see is huge dark shapes, the biggest bass. There's massive bass right in front of us. I just can't get them through the glare. So all we have to do is scramble over this stuff and we could be up there. probably not going to come out, but that is the 2.5 foot long bass right there. Wow, last time off camera I came up the borders, which is the way we're going to have to go back, and got stopped here by the wall, which literally so massive. And then right up there, that's where we wanted to get to. I know it's tantalizing, but there are spots here where this water goes in and out of these big boulders, and you just can't get past it. I did it. I came here and I was like, oh, that's not, and I got stopped. You get stopped and you start climbing up into the wall. And the other side is just, it's unworkable unless we come along the brush. And then that's hard to get the kayaks all the way up through the craziness that in the white water, big boulder shallows that are below that. And it's so deep right here. Okay, next time we're gonna have to walk the Jeep trails all the way up there and then drop down in and figure out how to get across those rivers. Remember, I still have to derobe the bottom again and get across. Okay. Ooh. A piece of seam agate. Just a calcium layer that formed in the seams. Because it's got layers, it's an agate. And very nice, thick pieces of just pure serpentine. Also, looks like there might be more jade candidate here. Some of these rocks, I'm pretty sure, are actually tools. Pretty sure that's an actual tool. It's river rounded down, but I think that they're flecks off of these bigger rocks instead of obsidian, and they've still been used that way. Anything sharp and anything solid you'd make a tool out of. And those have been sandblasted. You can see where we are. It's like these are riffles from where we're underwater. But I just collected these two over a small area, and I do recognize this stone as one that breaks very sharp. And you can see that's basically a knife. Nice. Look at this little Saturn planet. Iron oxide stained tooth is what I believe this is. But man, that one's cool. Jasper, but what I bent down for was that, and that is obsidian. It's so out of place in this river. It's definitely brought here, and yeah, probably the core of a tip right there. And I was just walking along, smashing this other type of rock in my hand that I found that sure looked like tools to me, and a big old piece of it broke off. And I was right, this is the one I remembered, and it breaks very sharp. So I think in this area they used this stuff a lot, and just naturally very sharp edges off these big glassy boulders. We are right below where all those natural cool ledges were and stuff. So like you, we recognize your shape from Obsidian World. Is that just round Little Skinner disc. Or it could have just been naturally knocked off corner of a boulder. It's always hard to tell. Little mountain range running along the bottom of that. A little lone fleck of chalcedony. Kind of spaced out that we were way up a canyon on a rainy day. Having to still cross the water somehow. We shall see. And now we're climbing over this. And these boulders are big. A massive pile of rock. But some of it has naturally occurring common opal, and this big old gob here has green common opal. My favorite kind that's up here. It's like a lemon meringue, but it's like deep green. Oh, it's wedged. River wedged. Wow. Me without a breaker. There's a clear windows sticking out. Like you. No, you're stuck. Like you. I'm gonna try and knock a piece off. See here, that might be really nice. You see it's soft stuff. Oh, look at that. Wow, we just usually don't get the big chunks of green. There'll just be little veins through it. But that one's got some green. That might be the stuff. See the little black dots? That is a nice clear section of that green too. But it's got that plasticky feel of precious opal, or most of the common opals. That's really cool. That wasn't even the piece I was going for either. Yeah, those are cool. Those are definitely some nice specimens of this stuff. Oh. Very unstable and very weak. But yeah. The sun's out, but so are the clouds, and it's getting close to the edge. So we did the top of that. There's where the wall cuts us off. Let's go home. The thing about going home, as always, is just crossing that river again. For some reason, leaving, it's always easier to get across the river, and then getting back is harder. It's just a truism. We're hoping for that perfect spot where there's just rocks and deep channels between it. There's too much of a flow for it to be dammed or anything. that maybe there's a spot like that where we can get across somewhere down here. Yeah. That. Probably some very beautiful trout hiding right in there. We're gonna go back downstream, find our crossing point. That was hard. I got that wet on one foot, that wet on the other, and I was pole vaulting. Should bring people with me so I can get that stuff on tape. My legs are shaking. Shaking. Okay. We still have a good ways to go, no joke. All the way down to the end of the canyon there, around that corner, back to the truck. Look right across this channel of water here. These are all those big volcanic rocks that we were on, and they go all the way down. You can see serpentine all the way down this side and them all the way up this side. So you have two totally different types of rocks coming together, and the joint in between them, that weak spot where you have two things, which is probably a fault, is where the water is. It's that path of least resistance, and so it's literally the delineation point between all of that, and that's basically rhyolites and everything in that family. Almost basaltic called. And then this is serpentine, and the line is literally where the river is, and it follows it through the mountains too. So a lot of times in California, because it's been like an accordion crushed up, the faults are represented by the rivers. They are the low spots, the path of least resistance, and so you can literally take a fault map and lay it over the river systems of California, and they match really closely. And here you can see two types of rocks and the strata, and we're walking down the crack of it. Just something to pay attention to, and this is literally wiggled its slippery self up. Damn, battery is dead. And I feeling beat up. So unless this turns back on Discovery, you can assume that I made it back to my truck, that I made it home, and I posted this video. Thank you for joining me, and see you at the next location. If you're enjoying this, don't forget that on the Quest for Details homepage, if you click on the videos, then it will take you to all of the videos that I've posted in the past. They're all still there saved, and there's quite a few of them, and they grow every day. So just a reminder in case you didn't know.